LG G5. The LG G5 is a massive change of pace for the South Korean firm. It's done away with the cheap plastic and confusing leather finishes of the LG G4 in favor of a full metal body, while keeping fan favorite features like a removable battery and microSD card. That's a big deal, because Samsung disappointed a vocal minority when it ditched its swappable battery and expandable storage hallmarks for the Galaxy S6, although it realized the errors of its way as it reinstated microSD support in the Galaxy S7 and Galaxy S7 Edge a year later. The LG G5 may not be as ornate as Samsung's glass and metal fused phone, or Apple's aluminum iPhone 6s, but it's a step in the right direction after the questionably styled G4. Not only does it include perks for power users, LG's changed the way we access the battery with a cartridge-like input so you don't have to remove the back cover. This magic slot is located in the bottom frame of the phone and doubles as an accessory port. Add-ons so far include a battery grip with physical camera controls and a hi-fi audio module. You don't really need either of these accessories to enjoy the camera or audio, though. LG G5 has a dual camera setup on the back, with one lens that provides extra wide photos. The front is highlighted by an always-on, 5.3-inch display. It never goes to sleep, with the time, date and notification icons visible when the phone is off. When it comes to price, it launched at around $650, £500, 890 Australian dollars, SIM-free for the LG G5, which put it slightly below the Galaxy S7 and iPhone 6s. Thing is, the G5 hasn't exactly been flying off the shelves. It's already seen its SIM-free price slash to $450, £420, around 600 Australian dollars, in some places, and LG has openly admitted it's been disappointment with the G5's somewhat slow sales. Add to that the fact the South Korean firm has now teased us with its next flagship device, the LG V20, complete with Google's upcoming Android 7 Nougat software which will be arriving in the next couple of months, and you'd think that perhaps the G5 has been shifted to the back burner. It's far from over for the LG G5 though, and there's still a lot to love about this smart modular phone. The LG G5 looks and feels completely different to the G4, and that's thanks to the all-metal body that rightfully kicks the plastic to the curb. It feels suitably smooth, although the G5 struggles to feel as premium the likes of the iPhone 6s or Samsung Galaxy S7. That's thanks to a relatively thick layer of primer paint mix which LG has used to color the G5. Initially I thought the G5 felt more like plastic, and it can be deceiving, but the sturdy aluminum frame becomes more apparent the more you use it. This doesn't mean the G5 feels cheap, far from it in fact, but the finish doesn't sing in your hand. The slender metallic rim which rounds round the edges of the handset on the rear adds an extra layer of class, but it also feels a little sharp. It's not as cutting on my final unit compared to the pre-production model I had, but it's not exactly smooth. Unlike Apple's handset, the LG G5 won't be notorious for antenna lines. It doesn't have any of those unsightly bands, instead relying on micro-dicing to cover up antenna slits. This allows you to enjoy color of the device, and in the G5's case you get a choice of 4, silver, Titan, gray, pink and gold. The pre-production handset I used was pink, and the color is rather muted. It's not as dazzling as Apple's rose gold, but at the same time it seems a little apologetic. The hue will likely appeal to some, but for me it doesn't really work. The final review unit I received came sported the silver paint, and it's more agreeable to the eye. Another big difference between the design of the LG G5 and its predecessor is the fact that the curved design has been ditched. Gone is the banana phone style of the LG G4 and its even curvier cousin, the LG G Flex 2, and in returns the flat frontage which is the norm in the mobile market. I say flat, it's almost there, but LG couldn't help itself, with the G5's front sloping away from you at the top and bottom. It's a slightly odd finish which offers little in the way of aesthetic grace or practical use. LG's reason for the switch is simple: consumers preferred the flat designs of rival handsets over its own curved offerings. And I'd agree. The LG G5 feels more balanced in the hand and it's easier to slip into a pocket. Downsized from a 5.5-inch screen on the G4 to 5.3 inches and roughly the same amount of bezel, the LG G5 feels light at 159 grams and easy to hold in one hand, measuring 149.4 by 73.9 by 7.7 millimeters. I can reach apps across the entire display without resorting to using two hands, which ties into LG's goal of making the phone all about ease of use and something to recommend to mom and dad. This does, of course, depend on your palm size, as those with smaller hands will still find the G5 a bit of a beast. In fact, the G5 is almost identical in size to the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, which despite having a larger 5.5-inch display has managed to keep excess to a minimum. LG G5's volume rocker has shifted to the left side of the frame, ending the company's opinion-dividing practice of having the buttons flank the power button on back.